All right, guys. So today we have a 1 hour, 57-minute run. But I thought it would be a perfect time to do an on foot comparison or on foot impression of the R.A.D UFO Super Trainer. I did an unboxing and everybody that was one of the feedbacks. That was a piece of feedback that everybody gave. So today that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to do a quick on foot look of these. And then I'm going to also maybe talk a little bit about, like do a little comparison between these and like the EVO SL. Cause I think from my perspective, that's probably the most comparable shoe as far as like a daily training shoe, a tempo running shoe, things of that nature. So I've had these now for about a week. I've already done a run in these, and I have to say these were probably a lot more fun to run in than my Evos, to be quite honest. I really like the Adidas EVO SL, but I think these have just a little bit more of a bounce in them than the EVO SL, which will make, I think, longer runs a little bit more fun, or those tempo runs, those daily runs, or whatever, I think a bit more fun. So I think these are a lot more comfortable, in my opinion, than the EVO SL, but the EVO SL is a really great shoe too. It's a lot cheaper. The EVO SL at 160, these at 200. Like, that's a pretty big price difference, but I think honestly, you're not going to be disappointed with these from my experience. Again, I'm 5'11", I'm 214, so I'm a little bit more of a bigger runner. So if you are a bigger runner, you might find these a little bit more comfortable than running in the EVO SLs. But again, you won't be disappointed in either shoe. All right, so I'm going to get the Super Trainers on now. And again, these are really comfortable. I will say though that the upper on these, when you tie them, they do feel a little bit more loose than the EVO SL. So I do feel like I have to tie these a little bit tighter because like they have a fly wire system on them, like almost like a fly wire system, which I think is nice, but it doesn't get as tight as I would like. I would maybe even argue that it might be worthwhile tying in on the last hole on the collar here, which I normally don't need to do, but I think that especially for today's run, I'm going to do that just so that I can get a little bit more of a cinch down fit on these. Yeah, so I will say if you tighten down, if you feel that they're a little too loose, I would definitely opt into tightening down on that last lace hole, eyelet, to get a little bit more of a lockdown feel, because they don't really feel super locked down if you just go to the first top eyelet, which to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of, but also at the same time, I would rather have a lockdown feel. So we got the EVO SL on. And we're going to get this is the UFO on. Now we're going to get the EVO SL on so you guys can see the difference between these shoes. And like I said, like with my EVO SLs, I don't have to go to the last eyelet. I can tie them up on the second to last eyelet, and I got a pretty much a lockdown feel. So again, just keep that in mind if you do plan on, if you already have the EVOs and you're thinking about getting the UFOs. But this is what they look like in comparison. This one, again, like you feel the bounce in the UFOs. Like, and when you put your foot in, not only has it got a little bit more of like a rocker feel to it, but immediately when you put your foot in and it's locked down, you feel that cushion in your shoe. So side by side, so this is left foot is the EVO SL, and the right foot is the UFO. We got the back here as well. And then let me get a top-down view for you guys as well. So here we go, top down view. And like I said, on these, I don't have to go past that first top eyelet. You know, I can keep them here, and I got a nice lockdown feel. With these, for whatever reason, the way that this upper is constructed, you don't feel as locked in when you go to that first eyelet. So especially on this run today, I'm gonna go for that second one. And again, I automatically feel a lot more locked in. You can also see with the uppers here, the EVO SL is a little bit more ventilated than the UFO. But to be quite honest, I did a, what did I do? I did a 3-mile run, and my foot didn't really feel as if it got heated up too much, to be quite honest. So I will say that it doesn't feel as non-breathable as you think it would. The tongue also has some ventilation to it as well. So again, like, you're gonna feel like when you feel like right now, my foot feels very locked in and cush. Like, I feel like I can go for a run in these and go the distance and not be too worried about like what to expect later down the road. I feel like maybe with the EVO SLs, you have a little bit more of a break-in that's needed or required. But again, that doesn't mean it's a bad shoe. It's just, I think you need to expect a little bit more of a break-in period. I like to wear my EVOs a lot. They're comfortable. I wear them all day. I would say these, again, are way more comfortable than the EVOs. But you can even see how my right foot has a little bit more of a rock to it than the EVO SL. So, like I said, I think this is a great running shoe. We're gonna hit a 57-minute run, which is gonna be one of the longest runs I've had in quite some time. I haven't run this long since like 2021 when I did my half marathon, or 2020. Yeah, 2020 when I did my half marathon. So we're gonna do that, and then afterwards I'm gonna talk a little bit about that on the long run as well, so you guys get an idea of what that looks like as I'm going on the run. All right, so we're about 5 minutes in, and one of the things that I love about this shoe, when you run in it, you want to run fast. Like, you feel like you want to run, and I don't know if you guys can relate to that, but that's the thing that I mean about it's a fun shoe. Like, I want to run a lot faster than I should be, so I have to slow it down a bit. But I feel like that's not a negative. Like, that's a positive when it comes to using this shoe. All right, so we're about 16, 17 minutes in, and the shoes really feel just as comfortable when I first started. I mean, really, as you get into your run, as you pick up pace, it's almost like you're experiencing what these shoes were designed for. Like, I feel like I could just go on for days at this pace, and it's a cool pace too. We're only at 11:05, so slower. Really just out here for the time and the volume, and they feel awesome. They feel great. I think if I had my EVOs on, because the soles are a little bit more firmer, I think it'd be much harder of a run. But I feel like midway through, if I need to pick up pace, I can easily pick up the pace that's needed without the worry about my knees hurting or anything else hurting. All right, so a little bit about stability and fit. I would say go true to size on this shoe. It's not a shoe that you would have to worry about going to different sizes, really. I wear a 10 in the EVO SL, so I went a 10 on this, and they fit perfectly fine. Width-wise, stability, these things feel really great as well. As you guys saw, I was going over like gravel and rocks and stuff, and I didn't even really feel them, if at all. I didn't feel like I lost my footing if things were, rocking from side to side. So I will say, I think I've noticed people mention that before on the EVOs, but on these, you're not gonna have any stability issues or stability problems, because
I think that's where these have the Evos beat. They're a little bit more wider than the Evos. So, you know, if you're gonna be doing some trail running, I guess you could say, I wouldn't worry at all. You're not gonna feel any rocks or anything. All right, so I was able to keep an 11:13 pace average for the run. And honestly, again, like I said, it's such a dope shoe because not at any point did I ever feel like my feet hurt. That was not an issue at all. Even my knees, the rebound and the cushion just feel just right. I think calling it the UFO is so aptly named because you just want to run fast. So many times, like I said, I found myself at a 9:30 pace when I should have been at 11:05, and I felt like I could have held that if it wasn't for my watch telling me to slow down. But I think it's definitely a major upgrade from the R1. I hated the R1 for running. It was not a comfortable shoe at all. This shoe, I think R.A.D did an amazing job with this shoe. I think it's a shoe that if you have the money, buy it. You're not gonna regret it. If, again, money is an issue or you don't want to spend that much money, the Evo is a great shoe. But I think when you feel that bounce and you feel how fast these things make you, you're gonna want to wear them all the time. Like, I picked up my Evos today thinking I was gonna wear them for the run, and instantly in my mind I was like, man, I want that cushion for this run, because I haven't run this long since 2021. I run 5Ks pretty regularly, but it'd been a minute since I've run for an hour straight. So, you know, hey, take that as you may. Again, I'm a CrossFitter who's getting back into running, and this is just my perspective on these. You know, again, if there's anything that you're gonna spend your money on that you won't regret, I think it's these. So with that, guys, as always, may your barbells be heavy and your coffee be black. This is David, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.